movement and mental activity and so on and so forth. And she just looked at me and she said, 60 to 70% of our biology does nothing but move us. I suggest that movement is relevant to everything that our body does. And it was like, oh my God, of course, duh. Yes. We sit people in chairs. Most people over centuries past and millennia past have learned physically. So they have learned through apprenticeship, have learned through learning from dad, have learned through going out. There's a certain amount of theory, but mostly they learn by doing and the teacher talking as they're doing. But what do? We sit them in chairs and say, sit still. We do it at conferences too. I love it, when you get the lecturer who says, I'm now 15 minutes into my talk. Everybody get up and do some movement. Yeah. And everyone, you've got these professors and you go, whoa.
Yes.
But it's so important.
Yeah. My youngest son, he really struggled with this whole thing. And being so young too, at the beginning of school, to have to sit still, just sit still and listen to me for 20 minutes and it's just so unnatural.
Absolutely. Some children need movement to think as well.
Yes.
There was an interesting article that I read only a few weeks ago. It's from the UK, and they had a lecture of students, it was a psychology lecture, 3 groups. One group had to sit for 50 minutes and listen. Another group could get up once. I don't know if you heard of this research. Another one got up, another part of the third group, could get up 3 times and move. And when they tested recall, it was the movement group that had higher recall. So they look at, they do need to get up and move often because that will then help the retention. So it allows the brain to process what they're learning and it integrates the brain and the body. But even in university lectures, so important for us too. And this is when I worry if I'm seeing, the higher end of senior school, if they're studying late at night and they're sitting there for hours, they're not really taking in very much anyway. And then if it impacts on sleep, and that's another really important area as we talk about with when I'm talking to educators about sleep, how important that is, and for the hippocampal discharge, or that what they're learning has been transferred, and BDNF, neurogenesis, all of those things, and do it in layman's terms so they understand what we mean, but using the right terms so that they can see that it's obviously scientifically accurate. So linking that all together and saying, well, yes, sleep is important, movement and sleep, and now let's go and look at learning rather than just jumping straight to learning where perhaps those things aren't happening.
Well, if you want to know more about the science of psychotherapy, come across to our website, thescienceofpsychotherapy.com, and our podcast of the same name, and learn more about the science of you.